want to know the will of God? Raise your hand if you want to know the will of God. Every one of us do, right? It's one of the reasons we're here tonight. 1 Thessalonians 5:16 through 18. I'll give you 3 things. And this is what I want my kids to know. And so even when we had to punish them, even when there were struggles, even when God has to do that, this is ultimately what He's after. Rejoice always. Give thanks in everything. And pray without ceasing. For this is the will of God for you in Christ Jesus. I want my kids to know that. I want to know that sometimes life is not fair. But God is still good and He loves them. I want them to know that when they struggle and they make mistakes and when He punishes them, it's because He loves them. And we as parents have to show them all that kind of love. We have no problem showing them when they do well, rewarding them, and we should. We don't have a problem with that. Keep doing it. You got to catch them when they're good so that you can show them what that looks like. But you also got to handle it right when they mess up, and you correct them with that loving discipline and punishment. And understand that God does the same thing to us. And I don't want them to be shocked when God has to do that. How many of you were shocked the first time God had to punish you? I was. I'd never really heard that. I knew my parents loved me, but I didn't understand that that was part of God's love. And so we need to see this so that we can pass it on so they get to know God better. I want them to know all of His nurturing and His compassion and His grace and His healing and His forgiveness and His blessings and all that. But I also know that some of those come. You ever heard Laura's story song, Blessings? What if your blessings come through teardrops? What if your I forget what your lessons or come through the rain? What if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know you're near? If I have to go through that to know how near God is, it's worth it. And I want my kids to know that.